right, and welcome to Speed Gaming Daily. We got some A Link to the Past randomizer for you, some Enemizer. I'm Slumberjack, and who is this co-commentating with me today?
Good evening, Slumberjack. I am my DM, and hopefully we're going to have a great show for everybody this evening.
Yeah, I hope so too. Especially this week, it's a big week for a lot of people running the game. Enemizer is pretty popular right now, and just hoping for some good old shenanigans with some boss shuffles and whatnot. Now, am I mistaken? Is this a full boss shuffle along with Enemizer?
I believe that is what I was reading in the race chat beforehand.
Very good. We're just waiting for everybody to get up and running. We're just waiting for the countdown whenever that happens to go. But for those of you who don't know what this mode is, Enemizer, all the enemies are completely shuffled. And when I was asking about full boss shuffle, that just simply means that all the bosses are shuffled around, and we'll see 3 of them at random twice. We don't know which ones yet, though, because it's random.
There are a few outliers there. There are some rooms specifically that Trinects cannot be fit into because of the geometry of spaces, but generally any boss, any place.
That's exactly correct. Yeah, basically anywhere that's where Moldorm would normally appear, I think is what it is. There could be more, but I am unaware of those. Those are the ones that I've learned practicing Enemizer this week.
As to the Enemizer portion, one of the big things to keep in mind is that you cannot have any enemy in a kill room, a room that you have to kill all the enemies to open the door, that cannot be killed with bombs. So rooms that normally have red Igors or red mimics in them and locked doors cannot have those enemies.
Very important, especially when you're running Eastern Palace and a little bit of Pod, because again, those Igors and mimics aren't going to be there this time. And we're off to the races.
Flippers in Link's house, and in the sanctuary we've got 20 rupees.
Nothing too exciting there, except for the flippers. I mean, obviously those are pretty legit. Here we go with a sign opening up with Days Cloud. The hope is to find an enemy you can kill with it, so you can do the tree pole check, but sometimes there just isn't something you can kill with it.
The trick with Enemizer, sometimes it is just not willing to cooperate.
Exactly.
Nice to have 2 runners starting at each of the starting points. We'll get a little variation in the routes right off the bat here.
Yep, and an early bush crab near its vanilla location, so that's very convenient. Over on Frostbite's cam. Red potion, very good. So getting any kind of safeties are super important in Enemizer. Like, you will prioritize getting them when you wouldn't in other modes, just because of the amount of random stuff that can happen to you in the most awful places.
Sometimes you walk into a room and it's spike rollers and Lionels all the way down, and you wish, oh, I wish I had picked up that blue cane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you will definitely go out of your way when you see blue cane on Desert Ledge, and you'll go out of your way to get that when you think you don't need it otherwise.
Here we go on Days Cloud side with an early Enemizer troll here with the Beamos and the big spike ball guarding the 50-50 bomb bushes.
Getting some early flipper checks from Freddy. See where that goes. What you got, Hobo?
Yeah, what does he have? That looks like a piece of heart.
Piece of heart. We'll take it in this mode.
As we say that, we have Frostbite heading down into Blind Sut here for 5 items.
This is our first look down here, right?
I believe so.
Believe so, yep. Edium not far behind.
He'll get his 11 sticks and heart piece. You'd be happier with that if you had the bow already.
Yeah. Oh, we got a map check. I only saw a crystal on east. I didn't catch the rest.
Now, I was looking at the chicken hut wondering what kind of shenanigans were going to be in there, but it was just 2 blue guards. And a bombos
Oh,
medallion.
yeah. And a bombos.
Now we have well checks, which looks like a heart, quite a bit of money, and some sticks.
I'm waiting to see where the big first divergence is going to happen. Well, I want that one item that just sends people in all different directions. Because right now, it seems like everybody's kind of covering each other's tracks at the moment.
It does. Dazed Cloud with that glove in hand may be a back of escape play, although, there are so many enemies in that room where you drop down that could be anything in this mode. Maybe you put it off until you have a couple more hearts. And that kind of is the play, Mini Moldworm Cave is a really nice source of 5 items, but there are 4 monsters in there that are guarding those items, and who knows what they're going to be.
Hopefully they're just going to be the shadows. I mean, that's what I normally see in there, so hopefully it's not anything too treacherous. I do feel like, given what everyone's been doing right now, that's probably the good way to go. I don't expect anyone to be going, to Eastern or up the mountain at this exact moment.
No, dark rooms in Enemizer, you really want to bring the lamp, because not only can you not see what's in there, you don't really know where it is, so you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
It's easy when it's just bats, or, a fish flopping around, maybe a guard hanging out on the wall, but it could be beetles, it could be any number of Dark World enemies.
Mm-hmm. Just 6 Lionels waiting for you in the mountain climb. You never know. We're getting our first check into the back of Escape right here. Frostbite and Edium. It doesn't look like it was much, though.
No, just some money and bombs. We'll see how Frostbite decides to play this, having finally started at the house and gotten his flippers.
Yep.
Nice to see a Mimic just kind of roaming around in South Central Hyrule there.
Roaming around, just following you as you press the same buttons. Mimics are especially scary sometimes in Enemizer, because sometimes they're in the walls of dungeons, and you don't expect them to be there when you enter a room. Just pop out, and you're like, oh, there they are.
Those are good. I find that the large Stalfos often do that in rooms that you're not expecting them to be in. Just a piece of heart on the outside of the dam.
Looks like we have Dazed catching up with the back of Hyrule Escape. And I'm sure we'll have Freddy going there shortly. It is the shadows.
You called it.
Oh, very good use of very good use of that first bomb. That last one got away.
Yeah, it only took him 1 extra bomb there. I'd call that pretty good.
Yeah, it was very good, all things considered.
And that was a Mitz, and was that the fire rod?
I think that was the fire rod. So we're on a little bit of a moon pearl hunt right now. Hammer would be nice too.
Yep, one, preferably both. Ooh, swimming mimics. That's just rude.
Get out of here, Mimic. Trying to play a game. Sure enough, Freddy making that back of escape play. Getting an already done hobo check here.
And this might be a mountain play for Medium.
Ooh. And I don't actually mind this one too much because of like, we do have lamp. I missed the lamp get.
So did I entirely, apparently.
But I don't mind this play like even when you don't have the lamp because so many enemies like get just stuck in the wall. Oof. That's it. So yeah, like almost all those enemies are stuck in the wall. It was just the mimic. What do you got for us, old man?
Yeah, what's he got for saving his life? Just a little bit of love.
Not checking the top of Death Mountain. The play.
I find that I get an awful lot of trouble when I neglect to make those couple of checks after I save the old man, so even though it might be faster doing what Edium's doing, it probably is. Yeah, I'm willing to take the risk.
Yeah, it's pretty like, it could go either way because like, Edium can just save and quit. And just be right back where they were. No problemino.
Well, in this case, he's gone to a place he does need to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh. They saw nothing and were maybe spooked.
Little camera offset there with the bomb and fall into the hole. The game's not quite sure where to put you, so as a safety, the developers implemented this room and named it after the winner of a Nintendo Power Contest. One Chris Houlihan. 225 rupees inside.
Indeed, and that can only be used once per race. I'm not sure if that's vanilla or not, but I know at least for the purpose of randomizer, a runner can only use that once per race. So it's a very good trick to know, especially when you need any kind of money. Much like Frostbite needed it, because I believe they're going to go do Zora now. Right, did they go? Okay, cool. They didn't get punked by the soldier there.
That green guard was looking a little stabby.
Hey,
and there's
Moon Pearl. Oh, that is true. The rupees are only there once, much like Dark Palace. That is a very good call. Thank you to our trackers, Professor Pixie and Link to the Past Ken, for keeping us on track.
Rather than Houlihan, Dazed Cloud appears to be opting for the 20 rupee cave just to the south of Ice Rod Cave.
I mean, when you're that close to 500, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, just a couple more trips in will do. And Frostbite's going to give us a Zora check.
Ah, yes. Very, very good. Only 495 rupees spent.
1% return on investment. Would not buy again.
I'm very glad these runners all have flippers very early because without flippers, they'd be maybe tempted to do water walking or fake flippers, and that's just nasty. Oh, it's nasty either way, but it's especially nasty if you're trying to fake flipper, as Dazed Cloud takes a death on the water.
Yes, the water physics in this game leave maybe a little something to be desired under normal circumstances. In Enemizer settings, it can be rough. Frostbite making his way into the Dark World over at the Thievestown area and heading south to Thievestown rather than north into Skullwoods. And a Dark World map check, crystals all across the left and bottom. Ice Palace is a pendant. Our 5-6 are Swamp and Pod.
Good call. And I think that was green pendant up on Turtle Rock and another pendant on Ice Palace. Yep.
Yes, ice was definitely blue.
Lots of other folks getting their moon pearls. Oh, and Freddy making the Hyrule Castle play, which I don't think we've seen.
Shooting the Hinox with the fire rod to some effect, but not great effect. Ooh, and then he's almost jibbed by the Jibdo. Frostbite getting 50 rupees out of C-shaped house. Nothing to write home about there.
I think Edium's also about to head into Hyrule Castle. Yep.
Ooh, that's the flute for Freddy in the, what is that, the vanilla boomerang chest?
Yeah, vanilla boomerang chest, yep. One of the two, I forget exactly how it works, but I feel like if you somehow skip that in like the vanilla game, then the brewery in the Dark World will have a boomerang for you instead. Something weird like that.
Well, Edium's going to come up on that momentarily. Meanwhile, Frostbite has made his way into Thievestown. Edium with a little good game knowledge there that a thrown bomb will blow one of those Hinoxes up in one shot, which is good for him.
Very, very good, yep.
Tracker is accurate. He does not have the fire rod yet. I don't think that can be.
You know,
he did Mini Moldorm Cave. I could swear
he
there.
walked into Mini Moldorm Cave, saw nothing, and he walked right back out.
Oh.
Which I thought was very curious. Like, he walked right out and jumped into Lake Hylia.
Well, he's going to need to find his way there sooner or later. Dazed Cloud has opted to go north from the portal at the town and finds the hammer in the first chest of Skullwoods.
Oh, very good. Very good play, especially since, like, well, oh, can Frostbite even do this fight? No. So very good, given that at this point we need that hammer to kill that Moldorm. Unless there's a sword somewhere back here in Skullwoods, or somewhere in the back of Thievestown, which we're not going to check.
That is a rude position for a fire bar.
Very impolite. Gosh, yeah, I think the first time I ever ran Enemizer, this room was just all fire bars. And it was like, I just noped right out.
No, that would be me waiting for the Cane of Samaria.
Mm-hmm.
But Dazed Cloud has made it through and found a small key for his trouble.
Getting some shovel game action for the first time over on Frostbite's screen. Got some bombs.
Yeah, well, it's kind of nice to see bombs when you're not full on them. Wow, the guards must have been having a little conclave down there in the basement of Hyrule Castle. That was 4 or 5 of them chasing Edium into Dark Cross.
Yeah, it was a cluster. And some more safeties, that's always good. A second bottle.
Certainly not going to turn down bottles under normal circumstances, and definitely not an Enemizer.
Yeah, and especially when you haven't found half magic yet, if it's a green bottle. Because you never know when you're going to run into either, Cold Stare or Trinex. Like, in the back of a dungeon. Like, you always want to have as much magic as possible going into the back of a dungeon.
Most certainly. Dazed Cloud's going to give us a look at Bumper Cave Ledge.
Just bombs. They can make that jump without fear of murder birds because it is Enemizer. I mean, I suppose they could still be there, but...
And now Frostbite heading into the cave formerly known as Hype Cave. Let's see if it's hype today or if we've got tripe all the way down.
Blue mail. That's good.
Couple of pieces of heart and a fetch quest to be turned in later.
Yeah. I mean, if this were any other mode, I would say that was a pretty bad hype cave, but having blue mail just makes this mode so much more comfortable. Oh, there's our half magic.
Yep,
Over
half
in,
magic was in chest game, wasn't it?
Yep.
I remembered it was over there somewhere because Frostbite had it already.
I wonder if Eddie and maybe just didn't have bombs when they last passed by here. Like, they walked in, saw that it was going to be the shadows, and just pieced out.
Or maybe not enough bombs to feel comfortable getting all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be happy he came back, though. Just 5 rupees for that mushroom. Must not have been very good.
Oof.
Well, I guess I'll pay you since
So
you
Dazed
brought it all
Cloud.
this way.
Yeah. So Dazed Cloud now in Thieves Town, and will be able to do the Moldorm fight if they choose to do so. They actually have a weapon to harm Moldorm.
Yeah, it's a pretty comfortable room for doing Moldorm in. As long as you have a weapon that'll hurt the boss, I don't see any reason to put it off.
Would I chat is asking, would I personally go into Ice Palace right now? No. Not without Samaria.
Yeah, it might be a strong play if you can get away with it. Once you find the half magic, you've got the fire rod at least, but, you know, Coldstare may well be hiding in another dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I had, like, half magic, hammer, Samaria, maybe I would make that gamble, but, ooh, spooky otherwise.
It looks like Freddy is making his way over to the Eastern Palace. This, I believe, is our first look into the dungeon. Ooh, and that skull floated right into him.
Oh, and those skulls, they hit deceptively hard.
I think it's 3 hearts on green mail.
It's 3 hearts on green mail. Like, the very, very slow floating ones, like, they just chunk you. To answer Mad Matt, there's, I think, 5 bosses that can be up at the top of Hera. I think it's like Moldorm, Helmasaur, Mothula, Vitreous, and Coldstare.
I missed calling it when Freddy got it, but I noticed it again when Edium just pulled the first sword of the seed out of Sahasrarla's closet.
Ooh.
Does a little dance around that floating skull that got Freddy the first time through.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been mildly disappointed that the cannonball rooms in Eastern can't be replaced with, you know, chickens or something.
Like it shoots chickens out of the out of the wall or something like that.
Yeah, and they just go running down that little corridor. See how well Frostbite handles this statue pull that Dazed Cloud pulled off a handful of minutes ago.
We've got two of our runners, Eddie and Freddy, over in Eastern Palace, which, for a dungeon that's normally very easy in most modes, it's deceptively hard in Enemizer just because of the clusters of enemies you can find in the back. It'll be
There are a lot
interesting
of
to see how they
enemies.
do it.
A lot of enemies. They're all kind of close together. A lot of them tend to kind of do their own things, and the rooms are not always the most convenient for dealing with them.
Yeah. Especially the first room behind the big key door where you have to also figure out which one has the small key. Like, that can be a challenge in itself by itself.
Looks like both of our runners in Eastern are headed towards the Vanilla Big Key chest.
Yeah, it seems like that must be where the big key is, because they both walked by the big chest.
And let's see where Dazed Cloud is headed, aside from away from that spike roller, of course.
To get their blue mail and some pieces of heart.
Kind of sort of an interdimensional high five there with Frostbite, who's on the second half of the Smith sequence, turning in the purple chest.
Now, did I miss the second sword? Because it looks like Eddie might have the Master Sword right now. Oh, ooh, a vanilla bow.
Vanilla Bow, very nice. Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe
Yeah,
he does have
Eddie
the Master
has
Sword.
a Master Sword. I did see some of our trackers saying there was another sword in, I think, Mireshed, they said. Oh yeah, Saha Closet and Mireshed were the two swords. And honestly, whenever you have Mitt and Flute, one of my favorite plays is just going straight to Mireshed. So you get that information on what Mire is, and you just get those two checks out of the way real quick.
Yep, it's a nice quick couple of checks. It's even better if you've got the mirror and you can go have a look at the checkerboard cave while you're there, or maybe dip into desert that way.
Yep. Doesn't look like there was anything interesting on Pyramid Ledge. We're getting a relatively early catfish check, it looks like. Coming from Dazed Cloud.
And blind bossing Eastern Palace around today.
Not too bad this far in the game. That can be kind of spooky if it's really early and you only have like a couple hearts and not a lot of safeties, but not too bad with this. As you can see, Eddie has the red potion pulled out, so...
Yeah, he's got it at the ready just in case, but so far he's clean. And as I say it, he takes a hit. Commentator's curse on this wonderful runner.
Yeah, didn't end up needing it, but like, you just gotta use... You don't want to risk that.
No, the sheer time commitment to walk back through Eastern Palace is pretty rough. You'd rather go pick up another potion sometime.
Yeah, especially when Eddie has the flute already, so... We have Frostbite doing their escape checks now.
Be happily turning up that that flute here and another couple of screen transitions. And as expected, Edium using said flute to go replenish his potion stock.
Smart play. Again, Enemizer, you never know what you're going to run into from room to room. Or corridor to corridor. Want just to turn a mushroom into a witch and you just get hit by a little ant fairy.
That anti-fairy was out for blood. It chased Dazed Cloud all the way across the screen. And that's a hard reset from Dazed Cloud, going to nope out of that and hang on to the mushroom in case fake powder might become necessary or available later.
And for those of you watching who don't know fake powder, basically if you have Samaria and mushroom, you can use those two in combination to simulate the effects of magic powder. So if they don't happen to find magic powder soon enough, they could use those two in tandem instead. Oh! Frostbite, no!
That was a death warp on Frostbite's part.
Oh,
I'm
was it?
assuming he's going to go check the Dark Cross chest.
I didn't even see them get to Zelda's cage. That's good.
Dazed
Is
Cloud
Cloud about to
find
get there
his
for a sword?
Yep. And Frostbite about to have to go through this conclave of guards and pick up the, I think it was a green potion in the Dark Cross.
Edium getting caught by a vanilla wall master. And I think Edium's doing our first look at the back of Skull Woods. Is that right?
I believe you're correct. Ooh, that spike is unpleasant. Just gonna have to take the hit.
Yeah, and that's the importance of safeties. Again, like sometimes you're just going to come across bridges where it's just a bunch of spike enemies and you just kind of got to go.
Thankfully, he's got enough health on hand that he could simply take the hit and keep going. Freddy finagling his way around the spike roller and chain chomp in the back end of the Eastern Palace here. Like you were saying a couple of minutes ago, some of these rooms in Eastern Palace on Enemizer can get really squirrely really quick.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite one is the one right before the boss, where it's like normally the 6 little squiggly dudes and the 2 Igors, and then it's just 8 random enemies when you go in there. It could be anything.
Edium has found Vanilla Mothula. Is this even randomized?
I mean, I'd prefer at this point to like Argus or Trinex or, you know.
Well, true. It is a boss they can beat. I always prefer to find Mothula in some room that does not have spikes, since he cheats outrageously.
Yeah.
But that is Mothula down by Edium. For
See
his
Freddy
second
doing
crystal
their
in
blind
that.
fight at this point. Freddy getting kind of close. Alright, they're going to use their safety. Good. So Eastern is not
Oh
Bowlock.
no, Freddy!
Oh no,
Ouch.
Freddy! Looked away for 1 second. The only thing that's actually bow-locked in this mode is the back of pod, because you have to shoot that one statue. But the way that Enemizer logic works is the items are placed before the enemies are. So you'll never have bow on the boss that's either in Eastern Palace or pod. A bow can still appear anywhere else, and it typically points you logically to those bosses. But it's otherwise not required for like anything but getting to the pod boss.
It appears that Freddy has decided that discretion is the better part of valor, and he's going to make some other checks and come back with more health.
And they're done that. I mean, especially when you've used your one safety that you had on you, like, you know, like blind is a tough fight in this mode because like you can't do the script. You have to run all the way up and then kind of like tango with blind at the top.
Yeah. Ooh, was that the waterfall fairy refilling with blue goo?
I think it was.
Yeah, that's nice to know. Certainly better than paying 160 rupees for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since it was right on the way. And we have Dazed Cloud coming up on blind here in another room full of shadows. He's simply going to burn them all to the ground with bombos.
It's a good call. Just wait for them all to pop up and just be done with them.
Well, when your
I mean, with
alternative
half
is
magic,
to...
you don't have to worry about your magic either.
Yep. And, you know, otherwise you're, what, sword spinning them with the fighter sword or trying to hit those things with the hammer? Not fun. So at this point, we're 35 minutes in, but we've still got a lot of items outstanding. What do you think the seed is pointing them to next?
Oof. What I'm thinking of. So, have we found out what the Meyer medallion is? Do we have that yet? Because it doesn't. I don't see it on the trackers at this moment. They're not going to go there without the hookshot or the boots, though. The only things I can think of are, I mean, really awful blacksmith chain or probably up the mountain.
The mountain's kind of rough play without either one of the hookshot or the mirror. They've got the hammer, so once they get one of those two items, they've got a whole bunch of checks up there in logic. But until they get them, it's
Yeah.
just, you know, look inside, you can get the item inside Spectral Rock and look at what's on top of it.
Yeah, I'm actually still surprised no one went up the mountain to check what was in those two. Unless I just wasn't paying attention, which is very possible.
Well, we have Dazed Cloud headed up towards Pod with
That's a
219
good play.
rupees, so...
Yeah. Has Dazed and Freddy not found Lamp yet?
I do not believe that either of them have been to Agnes Cave yet.
Oh. So this will be interesting for them.
You know, the Pod Dark Maze is kind of questionable for me in the best of circumstances. My favorite way to deal with it in the dark is to walk in with my sword out, take a few steps down, and hit the Ether Medallion. That may not work out so well in Enemizer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because, like, for me, I still have to pull up a map anytime I do the Dark Maze because, like, it can be finicky with, like, all of your directional inputs. But when you also don't know what's in there, it can get kind of spooky. And even, like, Turtle Room, when you're heading to the boss, it's not going to be a bunch of turtles. It could, it could be anything, so...
Now, at least in that case, with the fire rod, you can try and light one of those torches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that room's not terrible with the fire rod. So you'll at least know what's in there. Oh, interesting. Didn't Freddy get the flute a long time ago?
Yeah, he did. He's had that for quite some time. I believe he was the first one to get it, in fact.
Yeah, he only just activated it.
I guess he just wanted to do it while he was on the way to somewhere he was going anyway.
Power play, I like it. Ooh, heart container. That's always good. Good weaving by Days Cloud around the fire bar that's spinning around.
And the fire bar and the mimic having fun, and that whole spark ball, whatever we want to call those, just kind of circling in place.
Freddy getting their half magic, so that'll be good for them. Edium walking into the Moldorm fight, much better armed than our other runners who've already been in here once.
3 quick hammer hits and down goes the worm. That bumps his total up to 3 crystals.
Getting that bug net. Now Aga 1's super easy if they don't have any reason to go there, but
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be the first time this week that somebody oops all dungeons seed here on the free stream. Nice fire rod use there by Dazed Cloud in the U-shaped basement of Palace of Darkness so that they can see what's going on. That mini helm is out for blood, of course.
yep. They initially tried to do run back for the bomb jump, but you have to screen transition out of the super tile for the bridge to actually reset. So now they're going to do it. Or maybe not, they're just going to run all the way back.
Might be more comfortable setting it up from the bottom. This is one of those tricks that I need to sit down and learn at some point. You know, I can watch somebody do it and understand it, but, you know, you really need to know where the pixels are.
Yeah, this is a very, very pixel-specific trick. Doesn't take too long to learn, but it is very, very specific on how you do it. Gosh, I think I watched an Oops Ped Seed earlier today, and I'd rather not watch a second one. Like as much as entertaining that can be, you know. Ooh, Quake.
Yeah, Quake in the dark, huh? Ooh, those anti-fairies were really giving Freddy the business there.
We do have our blacksmith chain coming out of Edium. I believe there was another runner who already did part of it.
I believe Frostbite did both parts of it already. I remember him turning in the purple chest.
Yeah, I remember someone dragging the frog around to Hype Cave. And yeah, I think it was Frostbite. At least this is a very healthy seed, because we already have Days Cloud at 11 hearts.
And that was quite a nice hammer blind there from Frostbite. Dazed Cloud coming up on that turtle basement here in a couple of rooms. We'll have to see what becomes of this.
To chat, I'm actually not 100% sure on pot crabs indoors. I would assume it's a sprite limit thing, but it could be just Enemizer. I don't think I've ever seen them drop items, though.
Dazed Cloud just bowling through that last room before what would normally be Helmus Orbit today is Armos Knights.
Oh, that's convenient. We have a bow. Can't do any super fancy quick kills. I mean, I guess arguably this is fancier because it's different than what you'd normally do, but
Yeah, piece of heart and a crystal for the time.
fight well done either way. Eddie, I'm taking their frog buddy on a world tour. Gonna see all the great heights.
Well, when you're still missing that many items, you really do have to go looking around. So this looks like a front of escape play from Dazed Cloud. He'll finally find his flute and probably be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably equal parts happy and behind. Bring the frog to see the witch? Sure, why not?
Gotta see all the sights. And to chat, yes, this is full boss shuffle. So we will see 3 of the bosses, potentially, twice. We don't know which 3. We haven't seen any dupes yet. 3 of them are out there twice.
That was an interesting move by Eddie, I thought, to turn in the mushroom but immediately flew away. He can always go back and check. Yeah, and that's what he's going to do, straight off turning in the smith.
Probably
We knew
just
that
a
it wasn't
very
going to be
quick
worthwhile
lapse,
for him.
yeah.
And Freddy also appears to have the smith out for his world tour. Seems to be world tour day for Froggy.
So happy for all these frogs. Getting to see so much, experience the world.
It is a great wide world out there.
I don't think we're going to be seeing Aga today. Or I don't think we're going to be seeing Aga twice today. I mean, hopefully not. We'll see.
It looks like Dazed Cloud will be the last of our 4 runners to go through and pick up the second bottle in the Dark Cross. Of course, without the lamp, this might be a little more tricksome.
Ooh, yeah, Oh, well, no, they're going to be fine. They've got the fire rod.
Yeah, little torch action there. That'll work. So at this point, I think we're still pretty desperately looking for one of either the hook shot or the mirror to open the mountain up for us. That seems like it's going to be the next big play, but how are we going to get there?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure that out too. It's got to be mirror hook shot. It like or something else like boots gives us access to bonk rocks, etc. Um, basically fetch quest items. Not that I want to demean boots to that level, but it's going to be something that gives us access to something we don't have access to already.
Well, depending on the Meyer medallion, boots could let us in there. Dazed Cloud immediately making the trip to unloose the goose.
Oh, finally our Meyer check. Oh no, baited.
Well, Dazed Cloud is going to pick up his lamp at 49 minutes.
It's a very nice to have at this point.
Well, there are still some dark rooms outstanding. Dazed Cloud giving us the rare Agina text check.
And also about to get their Master Sword.
Okay, this time my eyes are open. We'll catch the medallion, I'm sure of it. I think that was Bombos. The palette shuffle is making it a little difficult. I know that everybody's been putting it off, but at this point, I'm really waiting for somebody to go explore Pinda Dice.
Oh gosh, yeah, I guess that is still an option. Like, I I I would be putting it off as well because without Hookshot or Samaria, and also considering Ice Palace Bomb Jump can be corrupted isn't the right word, but it might not be possible with floating enemies. It's just a very unattractive option right now.
Certainly not the most attractive option, but we're whittling down to the point where it's close to the only option we have. I think we've seen most of the other checks we're actually capable of making. Dazed Cloud's going to go ahead and go up the mountain and make a couple of, well, one sight check and one check that he can grab that we haven't seen yet. And as I say that, Frostbite picks up the crystal out of Pod, I believe.
Days Cloud almost is jumping down immediately. Oh, it's the mirror!
Everyone's going to feel bad when they see that.
Except for Days. Well, I guess Days Cloud probably does feel bad about seeing that now.
Finding it at 52 minutes, you probably feel behind even if you aren't.
Yeah, when it was there the entire time. That's what I was so surprised. I was so surprised that no one just walked up the mountain just like that one time. All four of them seemed to skip it.
Ooh, that is a finicky bomb jump, and it did not work out for Dazed Cloud.
It doesn't ever work out for me either, so I understand.
Thankfully, the exit tunnel was not terribly overwhelming.
But yeah, as you assessed Frostbite going into Ice Palace, and then Days Cloud doing what they should be doing with the mirror, which is now they can do all of Mountain, more or less.
It'll be interesting to see which one of these plays out, because one of them has to be the next piece of the puzzle, almost assuredly.
Hair is a pendant, but I'm surprised Days Cloud didn't at least stop in for a hot second. Check those first, like, 2 rooms. Especially when they have the mirror and can just peace out afterwards.
That would have been my temptation, but it looks like maybe a spiral cave, and, now having the mirror in hand finally, you can kind of chain in the rest of the eastern side of the mountain. And then
Yeah.
if you still haven't found what you want, you can go back. Freddy picks up the crystal from Skull Woods, and Frostbite's a couple of screens away from performing the good old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump.
Hopefully. These super tiles are kind of rough, because if there's floating enemies here, in that room where you got to do it, or in the next room, it's not going to work. We're going to find out very quickly if it's even possible. So far, it looks good, though. And it's good. Oh, well.
And he gets bumped off.
I mean, that's fine. They'll figure it out. At least it's not Enemizer's fault. So they know they can do it.
Taking an intentional hit and then walking off the platform. Oh my goodness, Frostbite. That just feels bad.
Yeah, but 3 for 3 on those bomb jumps.
No kidding. Definitely
Paradox.
conversion with the tech.
Did Paradox give us nothing good? I don't think
If it did, it was in the bottom and I missed it. But Idiom's finally found the mirror as well, and he is going to go ahead and dip into the front of Hera.
Tape is on the floating island, which we know we don't need, but it's probably still worth to grab in this mode, especially if it's like Helmasaur at the top of Ganon's tower.
Plus the fact that you haven't found the blue cane yet, and it's nice to have one of those invincibility safeties on hand.
Yeah, especially that, yeah.
And exactly what you were talking about, check the first couple of chests and go ahead and dip out. That was Idiom's play.
Yeah, I wouldn't go further than that without the boots and hookshot. Or if you just knew the bomb hookshot setup for Herapot. When you got those 2 chests right there and mirror, like, you can just peace out.
Yep, if you have to come back later, you can.
Frostbite going for a different bomb setup, and in this room's a little bit unique. I believe the enemies always have to be those floating jellies, even if their sprites are a little goofy. There are certain rooms in all of the dungeons, not literally all, but in most of the dungeons where certain enemies will always be the same, such as like the invisible Stalfos in the Eastern Palace, or the floating jellies in Ice Palace.
Yep, as expected, Days Cloud has gone ahead and picked up that cape. And Etium's going to show us Paradox, so we can have another look. Styx and Red Rupee in the bottom.
Oh, and Days Cloud going in the long way to get back to Era to get those few checks in, and maybe they were hoping to get like the book or something on the east side to route that in.
It's certainly possible, or maybe the hook shot so you can climb a little faster.
Oh, the other possibility is they're hoping to route with the cape now, they can do Spike Cave.
Yeah, you're right. That does appear to work out.
Come on, Ice Palace, give us something.
The big key in the most out-of-the-way possible location.
More safeties for Days Cloud for enduring Spike Cave. Could save them time in the long run. Oh, Freddy's got to be very careful. Freddy! Oh, Freddy.
Yeah, Thieves Town has been giving him the business for a little while now here. And as I said that, Frostbite got a similar cold welcome from Ice Palace. Although that may have been a death warp since he does not have the mirror yet.
I don't know, like, why would you Death Warp when you could just save and quit if you found all 3 items? Or why wouldn't you save and quit, rather? Yeah, they're going back in.
Alright, well, not a death warp then. Something must have caught him.
Enemizer.
In the end, Enemizer comes for us all.
Alright, it does seem Days found the big key in Desert. So we're not boots locked. That's good. For now.
Idiom's going to go ahead and make the Hera climb.
Answering chat, they have their own trackers that they may be updating, but we have our own trackers who are updating for the restream.
Idiom finds the second item in, I think that's the vanilla compass chest of Hera. It was a second level shield in this case. Freddy making a very careful trek towards the Maiden's Cell here.
Days
Just
Cloud going for the pendant clear. Which to me signals that there must be a second item on the boss.
that seems like a pretty safe guess.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see this Moldworm fight out of Freddy.
Ooh, the enraged Moldorm. Oh, it's fine.
Somewhat less dangerous when he doesn't have a pit to knock you into.
Yeah, exactly.
And that gives Freddy his second crystal of the match. So at 1 hour and 3 minutes, we have 3 crystals each for Edium, Dazed Cloud, and Frostbite, and Freddy has picked up his second.
Oh. Well, hello, Trinex, in a place we never want to go back to.
Try next. Buy next. This room in Ice Palace right before the boss. You get to pulling that statue and then, you know, the Wall Master comes down on your head. That's not fun. But in this case it was pretty cooperative Frostbite, who's found Vitreous.
Oh, that's a little. Oh, with a fighter sword. Oh, jeez. But we do have a book in Checkerboard, which gives us a few more options.
Frostbite opting for a potion and hammer strats. When the alternative is fighter sword spins, I can understand why. He's kind of mixing some of those in too.
Is Cloud now making the Ice Palace play? Saving those arrows for Vitreous.
Makes sense to me. Viddy's got an awful lot of health. And a small key.
Everything you want in a Vitreous fight. Ugh.
Well, it's boss shuffle and Enemizer. Any Vitreous fight you can walk away from. I didn't see him on the inside of it, but I saw Freddy fluting away from the outside of Agina's cave, so I'm guessing that he just got his lamp.
Yeah, everyone should have their lamp by now. So what are we missing? So it must be something locked behind Mirror at this point. Which to me screams either overworld checks, either North Dark World like K45 maybe, and then Swamp Palace would be an option, like hookshot somewhere in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, French vanilla hookshot could definitely be a thing here. Freddy appears to be going to have his rematch with Eastern Palace. I'm sure he has a few things he'd like to say to Blind.
Go get him, Freddy. Go get your rematch. Is Cloud having a tiny bit of setup difficulties with this? There we go. There is a trick. There's a certain number of picks. Oh, no. Also getting punked by little Sparky dude. is a certain number of pixels you want to try to line your sword up with the shadow of the bomb. That's at least how I do it. But it is time sensitive, so there, they got it. Well,
And got sparked again, my goodness. You wouldn't think that one spark would cause that much trouble.
chat agreed. Even when it's not Enemizer, like you jump across and then you just fail walking from the left to the right, and the fire bar hits you. The worst.
But Dazed Cloud is through. It looks like Edium has your thought in mind. He's going to go have a look at the graveyard ledge, make one of these mirror checks for us.
Professor Pixie, one of our trackers, it's a very specific situation. I don't think I can relate. Oh, and the hook shot. So that gives us a lot more to do. That gives us Swamp Palace. That gives us Hookshot Cave, which I don't think we want to go to right now.
No, at this point I'd hold off on that in favor of just going ahead and doing Swamp.
Yeah, at this point, Edium wants to put off Mountain again for as long as possible until they find Ice Rod and Samaria.
Yeah, if he can make sure he only has to make one more trip up the mountain, he'll be happier.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's actually going to go ahead and check K45 first.
Yeah, K45 and then Bombo's tablet both make sense. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody's done their Frog World tour at this point. I could be wrong.
I believe you are correct.
Oh, well, there's one of the missing pieces. Good old Ice Rod in K45.
Be kind of funny if we find Ether on Bombo's tablet. We can cry out all day long that it's wrong tablet, but, you know, it's close to the last thing we need. We still need to find Samaria as well.
So it's pretty, like, I can't imagine Edium not going into Swamp Palace at this point, but I'll be curious to see what they do with left side. Because left side and Enemizer is a really tricky thing, because the enemy layout, if you're trying to do Diver Down to get to left side, it's not guaranteed to let you do it easily. So it'll be curious to see if they like try to do it the vanilla way, if they ignore it, or if they just try to do it the safe way.
Well, the palace itself is going to be his next play, so he'll show us here in a handful of seconds. While he opens the dam, we have Freddy making his play on Pod, Frostbite making his play in Dependent Hera.
Yeah, and to the top of Pendant Hera, which I don't think we've seen.
We did. Edium found the second item in not the big chest, but the chest to the south of it. It was the
Yeah.
second shield upgrade.
Oh, rip. Yep, you're right. But Frostbite's gonna keep going.
have to wonder if maybe the possibility of a ped seed is on his mind at this point. Since he hasn't made all of those other mirror checks, he doesn't know how many of his outstanding items are simply locked behind that one.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, everything that they have to check is kind of out of the way. So, like, how far out of the way at this point when you're already up here is killing Moldorm?
And it's certainly not really going to get faster. Speaking of, that was a French vanilla Moldorm. It was Moldorm, but with a few additional eyes. So we have found the first of our repeat bosses.
Yeah, to chat, I don't think Pet is dead just yet. There are still things it could be.
Yeah, boots or a fetch quest leading to them, I think, is what we're down to.
Yeah.
Idiom, to little surprise, going straight back. It's kind of a general play when you're one item from go mode, just go ahead and go back. If you catch it on the way, you're good. If not, well, if you've maybe lost diver down, particularly an Enemizer, spend a handful of seconds checking left side later.
I like how the anti-fairy just doesn't care about the water. It's like, this is where I roam too.
The Anti-Fairy thinks it rules that little culvert, and woe to any man who steps foot in it.
It's a bummer place to find the big key in Swamp. Like, had Edim found it 1 or 2 chests before, they could have just turned around, turned that in, and gone right back to going to the boss. But now it's more like, gotta redo the dungeon. They want to do that and do left side.
It feels like the big key is very rarely in a convenient spot in Swamp.
Yeah.
And oh, look, Vanilla Argus.
Just without all the little pitter-patter noises you make when you walk around.
Frostbite getting his whole lot of nothing out of Paradox Cave.
Ooh. Aw, Eddie, I'm so close! Eddie was going for the clean kill with the Master Sword. Just barely missed it.
Yeah, still cleaned it up nicely and picks up yet another crystal.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the 2 cycle. Always fun to see the 1, though.
Freddy gets his bloomerang out of the pod big chest and is now going to make the walk back out. The big chest of Swamp, just a compass, and Edium is going to go ahead and show us left side.
Ooh, I hope this is spicy. Not too spicy, though.
While he does that, Dazed Cloud is taking the shovel off of the Bombos tablet and heading for the dig spot.
Oh, we haven't seen the dig spot, have we?
I believe we have not. Edium went to head into Swamp instead of going back and checking that after he found it. Just an error replenishment in the middle of a bunch of trees. That seems reasonable.
Frostbite getting their cape.
Alright, Idiom, show us. Was this the answer? Was it left side again?
And the moment of truth. Nope. And
Not
double
worth.
big 20. All right, so what does that leave us with at this point?
Diving into Mire and finding the Cane of Samaria inside?
Yeah.
Maybe the Pyramid Fairy?
Do we have the ability to get Pyramid? Oh, we do have the ability to get Pyramid Fairy. Edium does, at the very least. As we can see, because they have the Flaming Bomb trailing behind them right now.
Frostbite picking up his Ice Rod there out of Cape 45.
Very good.
And Freddy picking up the Pod Crystal.
I didn't get that crucial speed boost. Oh, nope. They abandoned it.
And without boots, it wasn't going to work out.
Oh, that's right.
But there's the big red cane.
Oh, there we go. So we are just on... Is it just an ether hunt at this point?
Well, Turtle Rock is a pendant. Unless we wind up needing boots for the big key in Ganon's tower, I think Edium's in go mode.
Yeah, at an hour, about 20 minutes and 10 seconds-ish. We're at least in Schrodinger's go mode, because who knows what's on that first torch in Ganon's tower.
And of course, that then raises the question, do you go check that first, or do you stick to your normal route?
I would just stick... Me personally, I would just stick to my normal route, but... These are 4 different people. See where they go.
And it looks like we've got shadows in the Mire 2 room, and maybe at least 2 Gibdos.
I would just bombos this room. just get it over with.
Yeah, this looks like a really good candidate for a bombos use.
Good recovery.
Yeah, these Mire rooms, you know, Mire 2, Mire 3, can get really squirrely on you with Enemizer. Edium says, I have enough, I've got the cape, and I'm using it.
Yeah, especially like when you're in go mode and there's that half magic sitting in the back, like right before you get towards the boss. You can just kind of use your magic however you want in here.
Yep, and I don't think he's used any of the potion he bought when he went back and refilled. So he's probably got at least one blue in the tank.
Yeah, but they also just found the big key, so they're just gonna gun for the boss at this point. They've got those 2 small keys. If they feel like they need it, they can grab that 1 magic pot on the way there. Just kill whatever surprise is back there.
Yeah, sitting at about a third of a bar of magic, I'd go ahead and pick it up because, like you said, you don't know what boss is back there. Could be Trinex.
Could be Trinex, could be another Cold Stare. Could be a Landbow. I don't know. Could be anything.
Looks like we're getting backup strats
Ooh.
for Spooky. No boots, fire off the ice rod to set your altitude variable.
Mm-hmm. See, Frostbite not opting to do Diver Down for the left side. Which is the safer play in Enemizer. Although I bet with this layout they probably could have done it because you can despawn that spike off the left side. Or the right side.
Yep, but one way or another he is through. Of course, he's going to have to do this the very slow way since he has not yet gotten his hookshot out of Graveyard Ledge.
Gosh, yeah, hookshot's making the big difference here right now. No one else has found it. I mean, it's in an ugly place, so...
Yeah, choosing to follow that mirror in the logic chain really seems to have worked out for Edium. Who picks up a big 20 off of Mothula, who was bossing around Misery Mire, and his 6th crystal of the match. Now he can mirror over, do desert, and he looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy's making that long, slow walk around Spiral Cave, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot dangerous in here, it's just, without the boots, kind of slow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes, you know, you just kind of got to do it when you're up on the mountain.
And sometimes the boots are there.
We do have Daze finishing up the back of Thieves Town. You have Frostbite going... Oh, checking for a green rupee down there. Going into Desert. Which they will be pleasantly... not surprised, but it'll be nice to know that they don't need boots for this.
And as soon as he finds that out, it is a crystal and he can clear it, and, you know, still looking for that hookshot in the Cane of Samaria, you're gonna make the checks.
Ooh, it does look like Dazed Cloud might be... Yep. About to have our second find their hookshot. See where that points them. If it's anything like Edium, it's going to be straight to Swamp Palace for them.
Yeah, picking up the hookshot tends to scream, go make hook checks. And it was in fact Trinex in the back of Desert Palace today.
The nice thing is once you have both of the rods and hookshot, you can pretty much go to the back of any dungeon and feel pretty good about what you're going to face there. Like, Hammer definitely makes Helmasaur a lot easier, and Bow makes the Armos Knights a lot easier, but you can get by. Like, you won't feel robbed getting to the back of the dungeon.
That is the map off of Trinex and the 7th crystal of the match for Edium at 1 hour and 27 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose that does mean we have a game we can play. I don't know the command for it, but take a guess, everybody. Between 1 and 22, how many checks is it going to take for Edium to find the big key? There's only 22 possible checks.
Well, what do you think, Slumberjack? Do you have a particular chest in mind? Something that you like to guess every now and again?
I usually think it's gonna be like in Stalfo's room, but I'm also one of those people who I start right side. I'm just gonna make a random guess of 14.
14 sounds like a decent check. I mean, I like to change mine up, every now and again. Sometimes I'll go 4, sometimes I'll go 11. We'll try 9 this time.
Ooh, 9. We do see Days Cloud seems to also be skipping left for now, I believe. Or did Days Cloud do left first and I'm only just seeing them?
I thought it was Frost who went left because he didn't have the hook shot yet, but I could
You're
be
right.
mistaken.
You're correct. So it looks like Days Cloud is going straight to the back, much like Edium did the first time around. Edium looks like they are fishing for either a tempered or a silver in Hookshot Cave. Not a bad call. It's on the way.
It's on the way. It could also have boots on that 1 in 22 chance that you need it to get the key off the torch. But what he finds is red mail.
Red mail. You know, Enemizer? We take that here. Ooh, Frostbite with a very clean hammer kill on Trinex.
Yep,
Got a
put the
very
hammer
quick,
right to him.
almost like pseudo double.
Dazed Cloud having decided that he's going to cede that area to the anti-fairy and go and do the back of Desert Palace the normal way.
Yeah, without magic powder to get rid of it, probably more convenient.
Looks like no small key in the beginning, but we did have the boots. Look at it, he can bashing about.
Oh. Almost at him.
Check 3, a small key for the map. 5, another small key. And 6, yet another small key.
Do we count Edium skipping the torch as a check or no?
Yes, it's a sight check.
Yeah, because we'd be at 7 then.
We are at 7, you are correct.
Hey, Cane of Burna. Definitely need that now. Ooh, good use of quick swap there. Throwing the boomerang, switching to hook shot.
Yep, Dazed Cloud was having a little argument with Argus there, but managed to get some ice rod shots into him eventually.
We do have our silvers up in Ganon's tower, in the fire snake room. Ooh, careful there, Edium. Don't want to accidentally hop across that portal.
And Ether just to complete the set, and the big key.
I believe that was check number 12. Cool. Someone in chat agrees with me, so we're saying it was that.
Well, now we've reached the point where it's pretty much pure execution. Although, with the Enemizer settings on, it's going to be a little different than normal.
It's going to be a lot of execution. Although, to be fair, this dungeon can be arguably much easier because you could just get trash enemies all the way up instead of, the usual shenanigans that are up there.
Unkillable Mimo shooting you in the rump while you're trying to kill a Zazax. Yep, been there,
Yeah,
done
exactly. You could just walk through every single room and just bombos your way all the way up if you wanted to. Might be a little bit slower, but it's more consistent.
Freddy pulling his book out of the checkboard cave. We'll see where he goes next, and Frostbite's getting that shovel.
All those fetch quests.
Well, Dazed Cloud's doing the ultimate fetch quest and is going to be happy right about now with that Cane of Samaria.
Very good, Cloud.
Frostbite, hook in hand, is going to make a second dip into Swamp to clear it out. Looks like Freddy wants to make a check of at least Bombo's tablet before he goes ahead and dips into Swamp.
I don't see bookmarked on their tracker, so maybe they have.
I saw him pick it up in.
You saw him pick them up.
Yep.
Oh, he just picked it up. You're correct.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting looking room with cold stare in it for Edium.
Gotta love those graphical glitches on this one particular room. I love it when you walk into the room and you just see Trinex's shell just like piece out of the room while you're entering it. Is Cloud with the bombos where we said it would be a good place to use it. And done with the room.
Yep, that is a room that just screams out with those enemies for a bombos use. Looks like Frostbite also opting out of Diver Down in the back.
Looks like nothing too bad in Ganon's Tower for the lamp room. Sometimes there's a big spike there, and that makes it a huge pain.
Edium's going to go ahead and make these checks, hoping for a sword and silvers. Not that he needs either of them, but Master Sword Silverless Ganon is just tedious.
Yeah, it's definitely worth taking like the extra couple of seconds here and there to save you potentially 30 to 40 seconds on the Ganon fight, depending on your execution. Especially when you've checked as much of Ganon's Tower as you already have.
This is a rather precarious perch from which to fight the Helmasaur King.
Yeah, a lot of people really hate seeing Helmethor here, but when you have the silvers, not the
Yeah,
worst.
it's the first phase you worry about more than the second.
Yeah. I mean, Edium did take the braver approach of just smacking it in the face rather than throwing bombs from the side. Like I do, because I'm a coward.
Well, now he's off to see the wizard. Let's see what the wizard has to say today.
Two. Aww. And a blue ball.
Just
Happens.
mildly uncooperative.
Yeah.
Dazed Cloud picking up the Mire Crystal.
Which it seems that leaves them with... Have they not done Skull Woods yet? Oh, interesting choice of where they're going. Oh, because they don't have to clear it. They've already stepped into desert once. They made the right call there.
Yep, just walking up, mirroring straight into the back.
Yep. I'm getting some good doubles on Ganon there.
Getting some reasonably consistent positioning there where he can just bounce off the wall for double spins.
I was hoping Edium would go into the upper right corner. Yeah, there we go.
Taking advantage of that cape and half magic to get as many spins in as he can.
And also that holding the wall glitch with the cape. Very good use of that to make the most out of what magic you have.
Yep, he's going to go ahead and use that blue goo. He was down to 2 hearts. It makes an awful lot of sense.
Yeah, it's easy to get down there when you have, you know, Master Sword Ganon. Try to take as many risks as you can to speed the fight up as much as possible. See Trinex go down on Dazed Cloud side.
That was a bit of a blink and you'll miss at first phase.
Yeah.
And Frostbite heading into Mire. With Freddy making his flute to 3. What is his check here, I wonder? Maybe wants to make the mirror checks now?
I mean, I hope so. Because that is the one thing they need to do. Get that hook shot. Hey, and we see Big Pig go down on Edium's screen. Get your GGs in chat. For Edium.
As he crosses the bridge, he is finishing first on the restream and first overall, with a racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Good job.
It looks like Freddy was, in fact, heading out to make his mirror check, starting with the Graveyard Ledge. Dazed Cloud in the back of Skull Woods to clean that up, to pick up his 7th crystal of the match here shortly. And Frostbite heading down to the normally Vitreous area, which is Mothula's home today.
So unless I'm mistaken, it seems like everybody at this point is just heading towards the finish, except for we still need that K45 check from Freddy for that ice rod. Depending on, was Trinex on any of the crystal dungeons?
That is a really good question. Where was the Trinex we saw?
Oh, and hey, we have Edium here with us. GG's.
GG Edium.
Hey,
So that early hookshot find for you really benefited you a lot.
I'm surprised I was the first one to get that.
At least on the restream. I mean, it's possible other people found it first, but that really just shot you ahead. Everyone was doing well regardless, but doing that as early as you did really helped you out. What made you go up there as early as you did?
I mean, I had gotten the mirror very late. I could have got that mirror very early on. I just didn't want to walk up there without the mirror, so... after that, I mean, I didn't really have all that much left that wasn't mirror locked, so... I didn't want to just go straight into swamp with no hookshot, so I decided to check all the mirror locations. If there was nothing at Graveyard Ledge, I was going to walk over and do, like, purple chest down to K45 and all that stuff.
Well, in this case, pushing those mirror checks was what turned out to be the winning play.
I'm surprised no one would have gone to Graveyard Ledge, since we had mitts and everything early on. If they got the mirror earlier, anyway.
No, I think everybody held off on climbing up the mountain for the entire race. Like everybody saved literally just walking up the mountain for that one check until like the very last thing they could possibly do, which I thought was boggling, but that's just what happened.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun seed. I thought I was going to be behind just because of how late that mirror was, and then like everything was locked behind the mirror, so I was very surprised I won.
I mean, don't be too surprised. I mean, you played extremely well. You made good use of what options you had in front of you. You executed well. I don't remember any big goofs on your end from what I was watching, at the very least. You made very good use of your safeties, so it was a win well won.
Yeah. My Ganon fight was a little sloppy. I missed about 2 or 3 silver arrows at the end there.
He was being a little uncooperative with you.
Yeah, Master Sword Ganon's always iffy. I can't think of too many people who are like, I had a great Master Sword Ganon fight, and it's just like, you know.
Yeah. I tried to go for some Mario strats, but it didn't work that well.
Oh yeah, I was curious about that too. I was watching and I was like, ooh, I was hoping to actually be able to figure that out because I've been practicing it myself and I fail at it every time.
Yeah,
so I get it.
You gotta stand in between the block and Ganon, and then let your spin go, and you have to like hold a directional, otherwise you're just gonna fly through the block. But for some reason, if you hold any direction, you just stand in place.
That'll be something I take into my next little practice run. Did you have any other thoughts on the seed? Like anything that you thought was particularly fun or interesting about it?
Not really. I mean, for how late the boots and hookshot and everything was, I still had fun. Even though I had to walk around slowly to most of my destinations. Did that flute trip anyone up? Because you didn't need it for Dark World access, right? So I could see people like putting off escape for a while and not finding the flute.
There were some people who put it off for a little bit, but I don't think it really tripped anyone up. I think some people maybe got spooked finding it as late as they did.
Yeah, as I'm recalling, you were the second on the restream to find that.
Yeah, I skipped Mini Moldorm Cave because there was shadows and I only had 6 bombs and I didn't think I was very likely to kill all of them. So I went and bought a bomb upgrade, and then when I came back eventually, I was able to kill them with 4 bombs. So. But yeah, I decided after I bought the bomb upgrade, I'm just like, you know what, I can probably kill anything in Escape with 15 bombs, so I'll just go there.
Yeah, I think it was actually Freddy hadn't checked like many of the other things other people checked, but was like gunning for Escape and was the first one to find the flute, I believe.
Ah, okay.
And then like Frostbite was like the last one to find it out of the 4 people we were watching, and that was like as much as like 10 to 15 minutes later.
Well, there's one of those swords in GT there.
Yep. Yeah, those 2 starting swords being in Meyer and Saha, that was a big discrepancy as well for a lot of you. Just the order that people decided to do those checks decided a lot.
What? See, a couple people went to Ice Palace. What boss was there?
I don't think they finished Ice Palace. So I remember, I think Frostbite went into Ice Palace, and I think they might have died in there, and then had to go through it again.
Oh.
I don't remember who was in the bottom of it, though, but they definitely did clear it. Didn't get an item off the boss. It was a small key. It wasn't something too spooky. It wasn't something too bad, I don't think. It was something they were able to clear, like, first try, no problem. But it ended up being a very unfortunate dip for them.
Yeah.
And Days Cloud went through there as well. I think they went through it perfectly fine, other than some miffed Ice Palace bomb jumps, but that was the worst of it for them. I'm being told Ice Palace was Vitreous.
Ah, okay.
But I think everyone had some safeties and arrows at that point, so...
Yeah, I never found any Vitties. Didn't find any Lanmos. And I think I found most of the other
Vitreous
bosses.
was actually... I think Vitreous is actually in both... Let's see, what did you finish? Yeah, I think Vitreous was actually both in Tower of Hera and Ice Palace, which were the 2 you did not go to.
Yeah, I got the items from Tower of Hera, but wasn't going to finish it.
Oh, I'm wrong. Hera's Moldorm. I could have sworn I saw a second Vitreous, but I'm wrong. So, Vitreous Ice Palace, Hera was Moldorm. I have my trackers correcting me. And by the way, to those watching the stream, trackers, a link or link to the past, Ken and Professor Pixie, give them a follow. And we still have our runners running, finished. Give them all a follow too, because they're putting on a show for you, and they're all really cool. And you can learn things from them, like I'm learning from Edim right now. Give them your support and love. It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, definitely going to second that on the trackers. You don't think about it necessarily when you're racing, but it makes it so much easier to watch from home when somebody's keeping track of that for you.
For sure. Yeah, and thanks to you guys for commentating as well.
No problem. I just like talking about Link Fast. Yeah. Give me an opportunity to talk about Link Pass or Enemizer. I'll take it when I can.
All right, I'm gonna hop out. Have fun with the rest of the race.
Yep. Once again, GG's.
GG's. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, GG.
All right,
that was our first overall finisher, Edium. We have Dazed Cloud on the Cold Stare 2 fight, I guess we'll call it here, in Lanmo 2's room, and Frostbite picking up his silvers, heading towards his big key.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking.
Yep,
We got two
Freddy
people in
heading
Ganon's tower.
Freddy making, I think this is going to be the big chest and left side swamp play.
Looks like it, and looks like they're going to aim for the vanilla execution for it. Good old school way of doing it. Not going to risk having to do that small spike messing up Diver down.
Dazed Cloud finding out that this bridge here before the torch puzzle is kind of set with some annoying things. Trying to dash right down the middle of it and bonk.
To chat, that magic is enough with half magic. Not only because of that little magic pot that Dazed Cloud just picked up, but also because of that pot.
And you can do this second torch puzzle with the lamp. It's, not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do. The last light is a little finicky there on the top right, but it can be done. It looks like Dazed Cloud thinks he has everything that he needs. He's going to skip the penultimate chest of the game and find something to hit Helmasaur King with.
I mean, they do have the Tempered Sword, so... Which, by the way, trackers, where was the Tempered Sword?
The Tempered Sword was in Compass Room, wasn't it?
It was in Compass Room? Okay. I guess Edium just routed the climb in such a way that they never checked that.
Yeah, I think he went to Hope Room, did not find a key, but found the boots, and went immediately left.
Oh, yep, you're correct. Yep. Freddy getting around to their big bomb check.
It is 100% required this seed, and he'll like what he finds.
Well, he'll like it to a certain extent, except for the fact that he can't do anything with the Samaria that he wants to do. Or that we want him to do.
Now that is a true truth.
Because my fear at this point for Freddy is he's going to get that Samaria without the hookshot or the boots. I think Turtle Rock is the play.
Well, unless he can find a way into Ganon's tower without using major glitches, he's not going to pick up the ether that's going to let him in the front door of TR. Because that's tucked away in Rando Room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's... Oh, he does have hookshot. I am mistaken.
Dazed Cloud with a little beef strats going on, but is into phase 2 and is going to employ the cape.
Yeah, with Tempered Sword and with that set up with Ganon, it's just like, it's a free second phase.
Yeah, if he's going to stand one tile away from the wall like that, you can get him really easy with the Tempered Sword. As he pushes on through phase 3, Frostbite has taken down Helmasaur King 2 and is about to hook across.
Yeah, very good kill by Frostbite there.
Frostbite's going to employ cape strats to get through that awful room on the way to Aga 2.
Which, I mean, if you have half magic, you may as well just default to that when it's Enemizer, because you just don't know what's going to be in that room. Could be a Wallmaster waiting for you somewhere in there. Anyway, GG's to Dazed Cloud. Get your GG's in chat. Pretty please. A race well run.
That is Dazed Cloud, finishing second on the restream and third overall with a time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 59 seconds on racetime.gg. Well done and good game. Hopefully we'll be joined by him in the booth here in just a moment. And there he is. Good game, Dazed Cloud.
Hey there, guys.
GG's. Well run.
That was something, eh?
Yeah, that there was a lot of things all over the place. Like, not too crazy, but enough to throw people off for a little bit. How'd you feel about the race?
I mean, like, I can't. I like. Just if that hook shot. That's the thing. The hook shot was just the thing there. Like, if you got that early, I am so curious at what ATM did there. Like, if he just rushed it immediately or exactly like, because I mean, I last location that day.
After he got off the mountain with the mirror, he went down and pushed his mirror checks, which was where he gained his advantage.
I mean, I get it. I get it. It's just like doing what was it? Doing that where was it again? Graveyard Ledge there. Just completely isolated by itself, like I get it, but man, yeah, I just was like, I got so many other things to do. I'm not gonna go for that one-off check. And that's when I went into ice and I was like, okay, let's see if it's in here, because like the seed kind of felt like it was pointing ice for like at the early, getting those mitts, getting the hammer early, getting everything. It just was like, it's gonna be in ice. And I get in there and I find out, oh no, it's actually not even in ice. It's hook shot locked in ice. And I'm going, oh, okay. Well, I guess I shouldn't. I guess I'm not going to bomb jump to the right side then, just because that's pointless now. So I don't know. Just
if I can
what a mess.
Cut in for just a moment here. Frostbite has finished third on the restream and fifth overall with a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 13 seconds. Get your GGs in chat, folks.
But yeah, you were certainly not alone in that hookshot check, as we have Frostbite joining us as well.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yep.
I mean, like, I am honestly, like, I feel like anyone who got the mirror early made a terrible play and it paid off, but that's my feeling on going to, like, that situation. But, I mean, it was super valuable. 100% last located the mirror. Almost went right into swamp the second I found it. I knew I was going to die of hookless swamp unless the hook shot was right in the way. And, yeah, probably would have stopped playing if I wasn't on Restream 45 minutes ago, something like that, when I found that. I wouldn't even have picked up the mirror because I knew it had to be the mirror, or it had to be the like boots leading to the mirror, or the hook shot leading to the mirror. Like, I knew it was something very valuable in that location. And yeah, I mean, I checked every single spot available outside GT except Ether Tablet, I guess.
And the curious thing is, all of you made that decision, and it was like only Edim who like went up, grabbed it, and immediately went to Graveyard Ledge. For
Well,
some
why
reason.
would you do that? That doesn't even make sense.
That's my thing too.
Yeah,
but,
like
I
that's
mean,
that's a horrible play. No offense to Idiom, but like, come on.
Yeah,
It's like so
Edim
low
felt like
value.
they were running out of checks and only had mirror checks left to do, so that's basically what they pushed. I'm not sure if they maybe I wasn't paying enough on the micro level as to like how they're routing things in together, but when we talked to them, that's how they felt. It was like all I have left to do is just push my mirror checks, and they got
Well,
the
yeah,
hook
no,
shot.
everyone literally only had the mirror when they got it, right? Like, but like, so you go to Graveyard Ledge instead of Paradox Cave, like that makes absolutely zero
I
sense.
think he probably went to Paradox Cave, but I think after he comes down, he goes
Oh, no,
there.
that's
Like,
not as bad. That's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm not saying he immediately went to Graveyard Ledge. I'm saying
Well, I mean,
like,
that is literally what you said, but like, yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not gonna fight. But
when I came down, I went down to like I was trying to remember if I went to like the desert area first or something, just because at some point there I had such few things left to do, and I don't even think I imagine I had flute by that point, but I don't remember. I'm having massive seed bleed from the one that I did before this, so.
yeah, I got the flute super late as well. I mean, again, I'm never going to escape. There wasn't a weapon early. Like there was fire rod, but I don't want to burn my fire rod early. In case like I was hoping like maybe the boss in Thieves Town is killable only by fire rod. You get a 3 out of 10 chance, but of course, I gotta waste a minute going to check what that boss is when it's a boss that you should never have to bail out without being able to kill. But of course, I had to. Like just the fact that the sword in Saha's closet was so free. Like I feel like honestly, I feel like the seat has like a 120 in it. You just have to like go to it, like, because I'm assuming no one got the flute really early, because I feel like that would have made a huge difference. Like you could have had the mirror by 5 minutes in this seed. Like honestly, like
Freddy and Edim had it a little like not a little early, but like
oh yeah,
maybe, like,
I'm assuming no one had it really early, because if you had it really early, you would have had a lot. You would have had a way faster time than what anyone ended up with, right? Because like so much of the stuff wasn't needed. The only things you needed to do were like the mirror checks, right? Like there was nothing in front of the mirror except for the hammer and Skullwoods, but like the hookshot was behind the mirror, the cane of Samaria was behind the mirror, the ice rod was behind the mirror, and so like basically, if you just went up there and got the mirror, like you save so much time in Pod Eastern, you get the sword in Eastern way earlier, because like I routed it poorly and ended up with the sword late, but like yeah, I don't know. This was not fun whatsoever. I played like 6 hours between the door rando and this, and I had the boots for maybe 3 minutes cumulative in the 2 seeds. So yeah, really not looking forward to playing my 2 matches in Enemizer this week in the league in the next couple days, but got to do it. Luckily, they don't matter. But yeah, really sick of Enemizer. I joined this because I needed the practice, but yeah. Really happy this is going to be over.
Yeah, and, you can.
I'm just saying, I'm super happy that my league season doesn't come down to a co-op Enemizer match. That's all I'll say. I think it's crazy to have it in the last week, but that's not this really, I guess, isn't the spot for that. But anyways, hey, GG's to EDM and Days and everyone else who whooped my butt, and thanks to Slumber and is it Mind DM? I can't even see that far right now. My eyes are blurry. For the call and. Yeah, we'll probably do some more Enemizer for the next 48 hours and then not play it again for a long time. So, GG's everybody. Take care. Have a good night.
Good game,
right.
and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you very much for running and stopping by. Have a good night.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say the same thing pretty much there as Frost. Just like I'm done with I think I'm done with Enemizer for a little bit. I think my team's in the playoffs there in the open league, so I might end up having to run Enemizer still if somebody feels like doing it. But yeah, we're gonna see. I'm completely okay with not having to do it again. But shout outs to the seed for making me go into GT again with no tempered sword or silvers. Make me think I'm going to do Master Sword silverless after an hour and 50 plus. Thanks game. But other than that, guys, yeah, it is. Other than that, guys, take care. Thank you for the restream. Thanks for everything. Trackers, everyone. And yeah, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go do some other things.
Yep. Again, good game. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, GG's.
All right, take care, everybody.
Very well. And I believe we do have Freddy at this point, pretty much heading up to finish their race as well.
Yep, as we were clearing up the interview, he was clearing up his last crystal, and he is heading up the tower. He
Now
has,
the question
in fact,
is whether or
managed
not
to
they'll be able to
avoid.
get the tempered.
Yeah, he's managed to avoid clearing all 3 pendant dungeons. Good on him. And that sword is a little out of the
Is
way, depending on
interesting.
how you route it, so we'll see. While he's making his climb here, I have to say that I agree with both Frostbite and Dazed Cloud. I'm not in the league, and the reason I'm not in the league is because I hate playing things like Enemizer. Now, I'll sit here and talk about it for 2 hours, that's fine, but don't ask me to play one.
Oh gosh, I'm sadly in the opposite. I have to play this week, so I actually signed up to commentate on this just so I could see other people play it for a little bit rather than just grind it myself. And I'm glad to see other people who are experiencing it play it so I can learn something from them or just see what other random shenanigans could possibly happen to me whenever I do race it. So
Yeah, commentating is definitely an interesting way to go about getting experience with rando, I think. It makes you think more about some things that, when you're in the middle of the game yourself, you don't really stop to think about, you just kind of do. Instead of just thinking, what's the next tech that I want to do? It's, try and get into the head of everybody else who's running this. See how they're thinking about the seed. See if you can learn anything from it.
now I feel like where did Edium start in Ganon's Tower? Did they do the Hope Room and then went left?
Yes, he got
Okay, so they had their boots. Okay.
Yes, he got the boots there. And as
So
we're
that's
seeing
very
from
good for
Freddy,
Freddy.
there's no small key there. Which is why he then went left until he found his big key. Getting a little spin to win action in what's normally the 3 Stalfos room. And always seems to have 2 or 3 small keys in it. Now, I know that's not a true truth, but it really feels like every seed that I play, I wind up finding at least a couple of keys in there, if not 3.
There's always at least one sitting in there waiting for you. It's a big getcha right there. And their Cane of Burna should make the climb a little bit easier in certain spots. They prefer not to use the cape.
Now there is a possible tech where you leave the pegs in the previous position and you just use the Cane of Samaria twice here. It's a bit finicky, but you can do it.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that one.
I'm trying to remember where I saw that first. I think it was on a daily restream here somewhere.
Again, the things you can learn just by watching other people play. Even here on this little stream. It's not league, you just get to see anybody, everybody play and have a good time. Yeah, exactly. Professor Pixie, like, the only reason I ever started playing Link Past Randomizer was just by watching these streams right here. Watching people do cool, interesting stuff.
And Freddy has his big key, and he will start the final tower climb of the restream here in just a couple of seconds.
Or oh, okay. Just a misinput. I was a little spooked there. I was like, what else could they be looking for?
I don't know. I mean, you would think that if you were looking for a sword, I guess, you could clear out the rest of the basement before you left. Can't really think of anything that would cause you to want to just leave
Actually,
outright.
bail Ganons, yeah. Good double spin there. Making progress through.
Those pin gators weren't the most cooperative in the world, but he did get them eventually. I do like that smoke gray mini Helmasaur there. That's kind of neat looking.
Oh, I didn't even see that. This room could be arguably more cooperative depending on what you get, but already making it through. No problem either way. To chat, third sword was, I believe, is it on right side?
Yeah, compass room.
Yeah, compass room. Okay.
Freddy's going to show us the Gauntlet safety room since he was down to 2 or 3 hearts there. It also
it's
has one
Enemizer.
bomb and a full magic for your trouble.
Yeah, it's Enemizer. You take what safeties you can get just to make sure that you don't have to do the climb again. Especially when you don't know what's waiting for you upstairs.
In this case, it seemed like the Gauntlet was reasonably kind.
The Gauntlet was kind. The Helmasaur at the very top is probably the only sketchy thing at this point.
Well, we say that, and then the mini Moldorm there decides to give him the business.
What, you talking about me?
Nice sword spins there on the pickets. Those things always feel like they have more health than you expect they will, especially when you're still on Master Sword.
Yeah, you don't expect to have to smack them twice.
Reading Cold Stare 2 with the Bombos Medallion.
So an interesting thing to note is during these particular fights with the Cold Stare, I'm assuming Quick Swap is on, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can Quick Swap during the initial Bombos animation. So Freddy could have switched to Fire Rod during that animation rather than waiting for the animation to finish to pull up the pause menu. Just as a hot tip to anybody watching, that is something you can do. You just press L twice and you're on Fire Rod by the time the animation ends.
Even in cases when Quick Swap is not enabled, you can get into your menu for the first second-ish of the Bombos animation, any of the medallion animations.
Yes, that is correct as well. Yep.
I only learned that after I learned that you could do it with Quick Swap because I run in a small weekly community race that does not use Quick Swap settings, and I thought, it would be nice if I could just swap this over real quick, but I don't have Quick Swap. I wonder if I can menu. And you can.
Slightly annoying room, but gets through it. Yeah, it's just mashing that pause button when you hit the bombos. That's how I learned it, was mashing the pause button before I learned quick swap. And then learning that quick swap could do it too. All right. Oh, should still be okay, especially with the boots. Yeah, we're good.
Yep, looks good. Wow, that was living close to the edge. I was wondering how close he was to the chime going off when he went up those stairs.
Yeah.
And we see you there lurking in chat, Super Malmo World, part of that last bastion of no quick swap.
I mean, I have watched some like League Invitational players who are completely anti quick swap win some really big important races just this past week. So it's a question of just like you do what's more comfortable with you. There's not a correct way to run it other than what do you do best. So most certainly nothing wrong with that. You play how you want to play the video game. Oh.
There is a lot of interesting skill in the menu system. And yes, that's exactly what I would have been worried about if I were doing this fight, getting bumped off by the Helmasaur King.
Now, I haven't been paying attention too much to what Freddy's current safeties are. Those might be kind of... I don't think they're concerned anymore with the silver arrows. Unless they get punked right here. They're fine. If they're using this, they're good. Oh, I spoke too soon. Freddy, I believe. They are running out of bombs, though, so they may need to think about using the cape, maybe, to get some free shots in after they blow the mask off. But it takes 5 full bombs to get the mask off, so they're going to have to do some close-range hammer hits. And then
Looks
maybe
like
they
a bit
can
more
switch...
cooperative this time. Oh, hold on, Freddy, hold on.
Oh, Freddy! Freddy! Oh, no. Sorry. Freddy, you still got this. So I'm thinking at this point, yeah, Freddy has to go from this angle, like, just risk the knockoff at this point. If they want to, like, efficiently, like, beat it. And then maybe after they knock the mask off, put on the cape, go to the right, and just smack it from the right. If they have more safeties, this isn't a bad option either, because you're less likely to get hit off, but you're going to take some intentional damage doing it. Pause buffering, that's good.
And this Helmasaur King is really just finding a way to get him off that ledge.
Good. Oh.
Man, I know it's quiet, but everybody's so invested in the fight. It's almost
I
like
know.
you can't say anything.
It's like,
You're just
I don't
pulling
want to
for the guy
interrupt
so
him.
hard.
Like, he can't hear me, but I don't want to interrupt him either. Okay, good. Yeah, hold the sword out in front of you. Good. Spooky. You're so close. You're so... Oh, there it is.
Come on,
There it is.
Silvers.
The
Come on,
one
Silvers.
arrow. Okay. Yeah, Freddy!
Yes, I got it.
And to be clear, that is not... Like, we saw some other runners tonight who kind of, like, did that pretty quickly. That's not an easy fight. Like, Helmasaur is not what you want to see up there. And if you haven't, like, thoroughly practiced it, it's going to give you that kind of trouble. So, like, good on Freddy for getting through it all together, like, with what resources they had. They were down a safety, they were down all of their bombs, and they still managed to pull through.
Yeah, falling off once is one thing. When you keep getting knocked off like that, it is the easiest thing in the world to just get tilted and have the whole thing go sideways on you until you've run out of all of your resources, and then you're in real trouble.
Yeah.
So, I'm really impressed, honestly, because at that point I would have been amazingly on tilt. And instead he shows us really a pretty clean Aga 2 fight.
Yeah. It was very similar to pretty much everyone else's. Yeah, 2-1-1-2, I think, is what Edium also did. All right, here we go. So there is a strategy to do some doubles here. That's good.
It looks like he's taking advantage of them where he can find him.
Yeah, given what safeties they've used, like, take what you can get without going too ham.
Ooh, that cape activation
Ooh.
was just in time.
Yeah, especially considering the cape activation takes like a half a second after you choose it before you can actually use it.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was going to have enough time there. I would have gone to the blue cane.
Or hookshot, because he could have just hookshot twice, which would have cost him more time in like doing the run, but would have preserved the magic that he may not have, because I don't know what safeties he has left.
Yeah, I think he only had the 2 bottles with blue potion. I saw him go by them.
All right, so gotta be careful with the magic at this point. Oh, but they're in the final phase, so barring no Ganon falls, basically, they're in a good position.
Yep, especially if you can hit the torch glitch, it should be really free. Normally it doesn't matter so much with silvers, but when you're down to a third of a magic bar, you kind of start to worry.
Spooky. Okay, yeah, don't use your fire rod anymore. Don't know where Ganon is. Okay. This might be even tricky with half magic. to be really precise from here. Nope. Okay. Okay. I think we're good.
I think so. Need to stick 1 silver in him. There it
We
is.
got a dead pig. Everybody get your GGs in chat for Freddy.
And Freddy is going to bring us home as our final finish on the restream with a time of 2 hours, 28 minutes, 37 seconds. He brought it home for us. Everybody, he put on a wonderful show. Get your GGs in the chat. That Black Mage sprite looks so satisfied holding up that Triforce.
Good sprite overall. But yeah, a race well run by all of our runners tonight. Enemizer, not an easy mode to do. People either learn this the hard way or just like run into random weird problems with this one, and Freddy pulled it all the way through. Like that's one of the hardest things with Link to Past Randomizer sometimes is like you don't know what to do or you don't know what to finish or how to finish. Freddy pulled through perfectly fine.
Yeah, like I said, he put on a great show for us. You know, he got kind of the nerves under control. The Helmsware King was giving him everything that he could possibly handle, and he got through.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose while we're giving him a minute here to see if he wants to come in for an interview, you have any last thoughts on the seed here, Slumberjack?
I mean, other than the hook shot just being in an awful place for most of the runners, no, this particular race didn't really have anything that was like super awful as far as like the boss shuffle was concerned. I think one of our runners found an accidental Trinex at one point that had him have to back out of a dungeon. But other than that, like, it wasn't too bad. There weren't any surprise wall masters that could have screwed people over or diamond roller rooms. We didn't have to see Turtle Rock, which is great because Turtle Rock can be a mess as well. Just unfortunate that boots came as late as they were because that could have made it a little bit speedier. But no, I just enjoy watching other people play and learning more things about Enemizer as they go. What about you?
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty normal Enemizer seed to me. There were less of the really trolly rooms that I worry about and that keep me from playing the mode more often, or in some cases at all, I suppose. And yeah, it really did come down to getting the mirror and then pushing the mirror checks.
Pretty much. So, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. It was a good race. It was fun to watch. Enemizer, again, kind of popular, kind of, I guess, given some of the reviews by the runners tonight, maybe a little bit unpopular. But there's going to be more races of it, I'm sure, in the near future. Cool. Do we know on the status of Freddy or not? Or should we look at the schedule next?
I have not heard anything from him, so I guess we'll move to schedule.
Okay.
While Slumberjack is looking at that, once again, I will reiterate, please give our runners a follow if you enjoyed the show that they spent a couple of hours tonight putting on for you. My co-commentator has been Slumberjack. He did a wonderful job. It was a great deal of fun to comm with him. Our trackers tonight were Professor Pixie and Link to the Past Ken. They were pushing all the buttons behind the scenes so that everybody could know what these runners had, even though they were using Quick Swap quite liberally. And Professor Renderer was the one who was pulling everything together behind the scenes to make sure that the stream got up and running. Looking ahead at the speed gaming schedule, it looks like we have the SNES Superstars kicking off tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with Aladdin. Followed up by Goof Troop and Demon's Crest. All of this will be on Speed Gaming Prime. There is some Super Mario Land 2 action on Speed Gaming 2 starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. And later on in the day, we're going to move into such notables as Alien Wars, Lion King, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy IV, all on the Prime. And we have a League Invitational match at 9:10 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2.
Yeah, thank you for getting that before I could. I couldn't figure it out. So, yeah, I guess that's all we have for you guys tonight. And one more time, if we haven't put it in chat already, follow the runners, follow our trackers. You can follow us comms if you feel so obliged. And that's all I've got for you. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks to everybody who decided that they wanted to give a couple of their hours of their time to watching these great runners and hopefully enjoying what was an interesting match of Enemizer. And with that, I guess that will be us signing off from the Speed Gaming Network. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.